Do you feel like you're running out of ideas to feel like you're contributing? Well, stay with me. We're going to find some tips to answer that question. If you are following me, you will notice that I am producing a second video in 2020, whereas I had not created content in 3 months. And one of the key reasons is I was trying to say, well, I don't have any ideas, or there were always things getting in the way. So I figured this morning I will make a video, and the first thing that came through is, what am I going to talk about? And that became the topic of this video. So stick around and I'll tell you ways to get ideas. First of all, you need to trust that ideas are plentiful. They're all out there, and if you don't keep your eyes open for ideas out there, you will close yourself, and then you'll feel you're not getting anywhere. So the plan is for you to realize that your mission is bigger than you, and therefore ideas are almost unlimited. So let me tell you a story how this idea of feeling like I'm running out of ideas came about. When we're running out of ideas, what can we do? Well, first we can look on YouTube, we can watch TV, we can talk to friends, but at the end of the day, are we getting anywhere? You have to keep in mind that in here, you have all the ideas in the world. And what you have to do first is to believe that you have them. So this morning, I was sitting at a table figuring out what I would talk about. And I was watching YouTube, maybe wasting a little time. But then I came across a live show with two buddies. And as I was there, Evan Carmichael was also there, or one of his affiliates. And I was telling him that I was actually brainstorming for ideas. And he says, why not do a video on figure out ideas? And what is interesting is in this book right here called Be Brilliant, I have put here so far all the ideas I've had so far for videos. And I also have a few extra ones that I'm going to record in the next days. And the reason for that is ideas are there. I just have to put them on paper and figuring out, okay, they're there. The only thing I have to do now is produce them so that you can know what they are. So what do we do with ideas usually? Well, when we have ideas, often we pile them up. I have ideas in this book. I have a big pile of Post-its with ideas. And the problem with piling them is you have a bunch of ideas, but then you look at them and you say, you know what, there are too many of them. It's like when I have to clean the house and I make a list of all the things I have to do. What happens? There's a long list of things from top to bottom, and often I just feel like, well, let's watch another show so I don't have to attack them. And the reason is when you have too many things to do, when you have too many ideas, it feels like you don't know where to go, where to get the energy, and what would actually be the first step. So that is sometimes how I feel, and I know that you must feel like that as well. So the idea is, okay, we have ideas, where's the best way to get them, and how can we organize them? And that is what we're going to see next. As I was planning for this video, I was looking at how I get my ideas, and I was looking at a pile of books on my table, and I realized that, you know what, I have 5 or 6 books that I want to read, and I bought another one yesterday. Okay, so what do we do? There's 5 books that I would like to read to look for ideas, but when do we find the time? So it's easy to say, well, get all the ideas of the world, but then you end up with having all ideas up here, but you need to get them out of your brain so that you can share them for the world. Keep in mind that we're here to converse. We're here to communicate and collaborate. And therefore, one of the key aspects of growing, improving your surrounding, having new friends, having new careers, having new business opportunities. It is to figure out, okay, where can I find the ideas? And one of the key ideas I have often is to listen. If you look around, there's all kind of ideas happening out there. 2 days ago, I was talking to friends, and they were saying, well, we don't know what to do, there's nothing to do, and so on and so forth. And then a friend of mine says, you know what? I was looking at a book of paintings, and I don't know where I could find a good art gallery. So what did we do yesterday? We went to the Art Gallery of Ontario. Why? Well, someone had a question, and we didn't have ideas, but I listened about what the person was thinking about and came up with a plan. The plan being to go to the AGO so we can learn a few things. And you know what? It was amazing. There was architecture that I had not seen before. We looked at the paintings that are from the region where I'm from the 1800s. And you know what? I know what they are, but there's all the new constructions that have been built since. Because keep in mind, 2 years back, we didn't have pictures, not pictures, but yeah, we didn't have cameras and pictures. And therefore, paintings was documenting our environment. And it was amazing. I also looked at the exposition that is ending on January 5th, 2020, so a few days from now, about the early Rubens. So paintings from the early 1600s. Can you imagine that? 400 years ago, someone had ideas, and his ideas were about mythology, was about religion, based on the ideas of the time. So we're here in 2020 observing paintings from the 1600s, from the 1800s, and I'm looking for ideas for 2020. Where are the ideas? The ideas are in my surrounding. Ideas for you, for your content, for your business, for your family, all are based in your surrounding. All you have to do is figuring out where to get the information, or not necessarily where, is how to get the information. And let's see if I can give you 3 tips to get to that information. So you will say, what makes me a good person to share with you tips on finding ideas, whereas this morning I did not know how? Well, let me tell you. One of the ways is I'm a good procrastinator. How do I know that? On January 1st, I watched TV all day. Why? Well, it was just easier than working on my list of goals that I had written on December 31st. So I know about procrastinating, but I also know that if you take action, then you can grow and build your business, build your partnerships, and build your life. So here are the 3 tips I have for you. The first one is to listen. Ideas are all around you. Often we may feel or we act as passive participants in our environment. But once you stop and start listening and be an active participant in conversations, listening to what is happening around you, watching, you will notice that you will find a lot of topics. And often you find a lot of issues and little problems. And if you're a problem solver, like I like to feel that I am, there's an endless opportunities of topics to talk about, because there are little problems everywhere. And once you pay attention to these little problems, once you listen to your surrounding, you'll have a limitless number of ideas. The second point I have for you is trust yourself in being able to solve problems. Feel that you can serve, that you can help others. Once you start believing that you can help others, you'll notice that there are ideas, and you'll take those ideas so that you can create contents for your community. And that's that simple. How do I know? It's because this morning, I watched a video. It was a community. People were chatting online, and I got the idea of this video. And I got ideas for 3 more videos that I will record in the next few minutes. Okay, I took a little break for dinner. So here is our third part. The third part is create content. When you say, well, I don't know what to talk about, well, if you create content, what you'll notice is that you may not be creating content just for your friend. You'll create content for the world, for our society, for the future. Because YouTube is a great place to gather information, and the information will not be good only for now, but for the future. So if you think you have an idea, but it may not help anybody around you, it might be helping someone else around the world, in another area of your country, in another continent. And that is something to keep in mind. So our call to action today is the following. I want you to get your journal, and we're going to write a few things in it. The first part is I want you to write down about 3 people you met in the last week. And I want you to outline some topics of conversations you had, and maybe some problems that they mentioned to you, problems that you noticed from their conversations. And that will be the first part. The next part in your journal, you will look at what you wrote, and is it possible for some of those issues that were talked about, did you have a solution, something that came up into your mind saying, oh, I know how to fix that? Or something you say, oh, this is amazing, something that you could use to create content. And that is very important. And to finish in your journal, I want you to think about creating content. And here, I'm not just saying video content. It could be a phone call that you make to a friend of yours, or a text saying, okay, here I was thinking about you, and here is my thought to help you. And I think that will be something amazing for yourself, but for others as well. If you like this video, I would like to take a moment to look at the video, and I'm going to put the link here or here about taking action, so that you can go to the next step to improve the world and your life.